Okay, welcome to Into the Channel podcast, primarily about women's football. Before we hit the pitch, if you enjoy the show or love women's football as much as your boys do, come kick it with us already. Subscribe, follow YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to watch or listen. Comments, ratings, reviews, always appreciated at ITC_pod on X. I am your host, Dino De Cespedes, and as always, I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Grant Engel. What is up, man?
I'm feeling fantastic, buddy. So fantastic. We're cracking the beer out of the gate here. The level of football that we've been experiencing. That's such a satisfying sound. Let me drink to the football here.
Love it.
Jiminy Christmas, buddy. This was a lot of good football. I enjoyed the CONCACAF W Gold Cup. I loved the UEFA Nations League. This opening weekend of NWSL was phenomenal. And on top of that, now the Champions League is back. It doesn't get any better than this.
I'm still trying to figure out what we did to deserve all this. Just an unbelievable week in the women's football calendar. Head still kind of spinning from all the NWSL action. So much to talk about. Like I said, the Champions League is back. What a time to be alive. We're going to preview all four matches in order to get you, in order to get me, in order to get everyone really back into true championship form. Tuesday, March 19th, 1:45 p.m. All times Eastern Daylight Time here. Sorry, man. We're going to watch Ajax take on Chelsea. 4 p.m. Tuesday, Benfica Lyon. Wednesday, March 20th, 1:45 p.m. BK Häcken PSG. And in the most prime of primetime slots, 4 p.m. Eastern, Braun Barcelona. Shout out to the schedule makers on this one. I love closing the week with a Mike Breen NBA Finals Game 7 level bang. Apologies for vaporizing all drama surrounding my usual where you want to get started. We're just going to head to the Netherlands. I'm going to pass you the mic. I previously called this maybe the most up-in-the-air quarterfinals tie left on the board. Ajax versus Chelsea. Where do you want to get started with this one?
Ajax versus Chelsea. Let's talk about the home side first in this one. Ajax has already reportedly sold more than 30,000 tickets for this match at Johan Cruyff Arena. We need to do this as a show sometime, and maybe I'll just take it on as homework. I want to see how many Johan Cruyff Arenas are around the world, because Barcelona also plays at Johan Cruyff Arena or Johan Cruyff Stadium or something like that. So I'm going to set the over-under at 15.5, and we'll see how many we can find around there.
They could meet up in the next round, so that'd be exciting. Easy to remember where they were playing.
From Cruyff to Cruyff. That makes sense. I think it's safe to say the atmosphere there is probably going to be absolutely electric. Ajax have won their last 6 matches, and they haven't lost in their last 7. Their last loss was that 3-1 defeat to PSG in Champions League play in January. In those 6 consecutive victories, they've outscored their opponents 21-4. Jeez. And that obviously includes their 3-0 win over top of the table FC Twente a few weeks ago. I think it is worth noting, and this is kind of a part of why we wanted to do this preview show, it's worth noting that the club announced Ashley Weirden will be out for 2 months with a knee injury. That's a big bummer. She played the full 90 in all 6 of Ajax's group stage matches at left back. So it would be silly to overlook that. You lose your stalwart left back and how important that piece is on the chessboard. That's got to be a significant blow to the back line. Mm-hmm. That kind of leads me to the question, aside from trying to make up for Weirden's absence, what does Ajax need to do in this one to either steal it outright or just walk away with a draw?
What will they need? So I cooked up a little recipe in my head. I think it starts with Sherita Spitza leading the defense and more importantly, kind of like leading the charge to play a very physical brand of football against Chelsea in the defensive third. I think Kaylee DeSanders, she looked a little shaky early in the group stage. Her play has improved massively as she's grown into the season. Mm-hmm. Let's get a great DeSanders game. So I'll throw that in there as well. Nadine Nordum, Lily Johannes, you already know, they're going to defend. They're going to take the ball from you, and they're going to look to get it upfield. Chastity Grant, Hoekstrand on the wings, they're going to want to play going forward. They're going to want to be aggressive. They're going to want to be out in space. But to me, I think the ultimate X factor for me, and we saw her really shine against FC Twente, Romee Luchter. You mentioned that big win over FC Twente, who was leading the league by a good margin. So this was a big game Luchter had a gorgeous goal to break the seal on that one. She also notched an ITC record book assist with her near perfect header, bonks off the crossbar before getting converted into the easiest of rebounds for Nadine Nordum. And we've also seen her shine in Champions League. Just turned 23 years old, so you can always expect some variance with younger players. But I think if she has an A-plus game, or maybe just an A game, I think Ajax can beat Chelsea this week.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. Especially, you have the home crowd behind you. It's almost kind of like the NBA thought process. Younger players, they always tend to play a little better at home too. So that'll be really interesting to see.
And they've had really great crowds at Ajax during the group stage and domestically. So I think not surprising to see that they've come out in such droves and, gobbled up so many of those tickets. I think they're going to bring it. We've got a couple Ajax fans in our audience that I'm sure are going to let us know exactly what the vibes are like. And I'm happy that this one kicks off the week. How cool is that?
Oh, yeah. Perfect match to kick off the week, I think. So let's talk about who they're matched up with. Chelsea Football Club. They've won their last 4. They were clipped by my Manchester City Football Club 1-0 in February, but then they went on to kind of avenge that loss in the League Cup. The complexion of this game and really kind of Chelsea's season changed when the devastating news of Mia Fischel's injury broke. That happened in late February. However, they did gain Kat Macario, who seems to be rounding into form since she returned from her injury. She scored a couple goals in the few games that she's been back. Macario is just always going to be super smart, in the right spot, and very opportunistic, as any great number 9 usually is. But Chelsea as a whole, man, I mean, we talk about the Fischel injury. They're kind of a rolling mash unit right now. Myra Ramirez and defender Natalie Bjorn, as well as Maren Mjelde, all missed Friday's 3-1 victory over your Arsenal. My condolences.
It's all right.
You stack those 3 injuries on top of the absence of Sam Kerr and Millie Bright, and, we're talking about Ajax with a home field advantage, with young players who are looking to make a name for themselves. This one in Amsterdam could get real interesting real quickly.
I 100% agree with that. When I think about this Chelsea side, it's easy to think about who they've lost, because super talents that they've lost to injury, unfortunately. But you can still look at all the players that make the 11 and the people on their bench, and you're just like, all right, they still have like 17 really good players that can come in and affect the match. We've talked about this lineup up and down. Props to Chelsea, who gave my Gunners that work on Friday. That was a little rough to see. We talked about some keys on the Ajax side. For Chelsea, though, to me, their keys are up in the front seat, because between Lauren James, Guro Reiten, and Joanna Kannerud, I feel like if 2 of those 3 have a good game, it's really tough to beat this side. And the 3 I mentioned, LJ Wright and Kannerud, all 3 of those attacking players can obviously finish, but they're all tremendous passers and playmakers as well, which only makes Chelsea's other 7 that much more dangerous. Aaron Cuthbert, rock solid in the middle. Chelsea's defense, though, even though Hannah Hampton's been on fire lately, without Millie Bright, who you mentioned, I think Chelsea's back line versus Ajax front 3 is a pretty even matchup, maybe even slight edge to Ajax. So I think that is where Chelsea can get gotten, basically. And again, if Ajax plays to their potential, Lily's out there cooking, maybe Ajax gets that production they're looking for from Rome Luchter. And if those hit, I think Chelsea might just be heading back to West London with some real work left to do to stay alive in this tournament.
I think it's super, super live. And you never know, if you start to get that production from Luchter, Chastity Grant is pretty opportunistic in her own right, too. So great players all over the pitch, both sides. I mean, goddamn, what a great game to start the quarterfinals with.
Let's go. This is just one of the 4, too. I can't wait. And I'm glad you called out Virden. They're going to miss her big time. But a lot of talent on the Ajax side as well. It's going to be a great environment. And just excited to see this one going down Tuesday, March 19th, 1:45 p.m. Eastern. Coming up, we're going to cover the other 3 UEFA Women's Champions League quarterfinals matchups. Benfica hosting Lyon, PSG visiting BK Häcken, and those bullies from Bergen hosting that little squad with a big heart, Barcelona. We're also going to dip a few toes into the NWSL waters this week. Our guy Scoop Engel, he was in the building for the Seattle Reigns home opener, and my guy's got a couple stories to tell. So like if you liked, subscribe if you enjoyed talking women's football with your boys.
All right, man. 1 of 4. I mean, we got the other 3 matches, like you mentioned, are pretty damn good. So I'm ready to get after them. We will see you there.
Let's go.